Fix your finances. Fees you should be avoiding today. The debt cycle is never ending when it comes to interest rates, surcharges, and fees. Sometimes it feels like once you've fallen down into this rabbit hole, it's impossible to get back out. But rest assured, it is not impossible. You can climb out, and the first step to doing so is to understand the fees you should be avoiding today. Can we blame the banks? Sure. In the last year alone, banks collected over $12 billion in overdraft fees. That's just one kind of fee, and banks reaped in billions. But look, we can't make banks change overnight. What we can do is take ownership of our money and figure out how to stop paying these fees. Let's talk about how. But first, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on all notifications so you'll never miss an update. Now, down to this fee business. Fees charged by banks. The first thing to understand when it comes to fees in finance is that virtually all of them are avoidable. You should not have to pay a bank for the privilege of holding on to your money for you. Why? Every single day that money sits in your account, the bank is earning interest on that money, usually a lot of interest, by either leveraging it or lending it out to others. The return on that money is usually either zero or very close to zero. It's hard to find a checking account that will pay you interest, and even savings accounts usually pay out somewhere between 0.25% and 0.5%. Compare that to the interest rates banks are charging for personal loans, well over 10%, and often up into the 20% range, and you see how banks are so lucrative. You don't also need to be paying them fees. Fees. Account fees. Seriously, this is the most ridiculous of all fees. This fee is charged just for having an account. Do not open an account with a bank that will charge you a fee for having an account. You can usually avoid this with most banks by having a qualified direct deposit made into your account by your employer. If you don't have direct deposit, shop around for a bank account that has zero maintenance fees. Some examples are Discover, Alliant, Consumers Credit Union, and Axos Bank, many of which will even pay you interest on your checking account. Returned item or insufficient funds fee. This fee is charged whenever you have a returned item, meaning you wrote a check or charged your debit card and your account did not have enough funds. The standard fee is around $35, which is exorbitant. Avoid this fee by setting up an overdraft account, so even if you make a mistake, you can rely on your backup account to cover the charge. An overdraft account is either a credit card or savings account tied to your checking account. There is a small fee for many banks to pull from your overdraft account to cover an item, but it is much smaller than the returned item fee, usually around $10, and it will save you the headache of having to deal with the company who is now wondering about the payment you never made. Overdraft fees. An overdraft fee is a fee for having your account below zero. It's a ridiculous fee because you likely also already paid a fee for the returned item that overdrew your account in the first place. While the returned item fee is at least understandable on the part of the bank, if a bit too high in my opinion, the overdraft fee feels like gouging. Look into getting an account with a bank like Chime, which will not charge you for overdrawing your account and will even spot you on your debit card purchases that overdraw your account. Much less headache. Late payment fees. Many loans and credit cards will charge you late fees if your payment is even 1 day late. The late fees will throw your balance even higher, which could send you over your balance limit, which could then trigger over the limit fees. Avoid this fee by setting up auto pay for your credit card every month on the due date. Even if you just set up the auto payment for the minimum payment amount and then go in later to add to the payment, you can avoid this late payment fee. ATM fees. ATM fees are fees charged by a bank for using an ATM that is not in their network. These fees add up quickly as they are often charged by both your bank and the bank that owns the ATM you're using. Unless you have $3 or $5 to throw away, avoid this fee by simply going into a grocery store or market, making a small purchase, gum anyone, and getting cash back. Excess transaction fees. Believe it or not, some banks will charge you for making too many withdrawals or transactions on your account. Once you go over your limit, these fees add up fast. Avoid them by not opening one of these accounts, whether a checking or a savings. There are plenty of other options out there for you. Benefits of avoiding these fees. Do your best to overall avoid all banking fees and staying out of this part of the debt cycle as you make your way toward financial freedom. Look at it this way, for every dollar you save in fees, you could be investing and earning interest. It's time to flip the script on banks and get them to pay you. And financial energy is exponential. For every dollar you save and every dollar of interest you earn, you will statistically save and earn even more dollars. All it takes is to generate the initial energy of not paying fees, not getting further into debt, and slowly accumulating more wealth. You've got this. To sum up, you should not be paying any fees to banks, including account maintenance, overdraft, return item, late, or ATM fees. Use the money you save in fees to generate more wealth and get out of the debt cycle once and for all. Now, before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss our next show.